Okay, so we're expanding our knowledge once again. What I want to start with today is thinking about a box. And when we've been talking about what's on the outside of the box, right? The area that covers the outside. So we've been talking about this part of the box, right? These areas back here, this area back here, and on this side, and then even the bottom of the box, right? The underside of this box. So that's what we've been focusing on up till now, the surface area of the box, or the triangle prism, or the cube, whatever it may be. What we're going to start to focus on now is filling up that box, right? We're going to start putting something into our box so that it fills it all the way up, okay? And that's what volume is. It's not just the outside of the box, it's what goes into the box right here, right? It goes into my box. So I want you to watch this little quick animation and imagine, I want you to think about what I put this area here on the bottom of the box, right? Before we put anything in it, the surface area of the bottom of the box, okay? So let's say that the length of this box is, it looks like a pretty good size box. I'm going to say, let's say that it's 24. And this, so the length of my box is 24 and the width of my box is 18. Okay, so I have a length of 24 and a width of 18. Okay, what I need now to find is what fills up that box, right? What fills up this box? Well, what's filling up our box, that's the height, right? We're going from the bottom of the box, we're going up. That's my height. And that doesn't look like it's too much, at most maybe 3 inches. So we'll say that it has a height of 3 inches. Okay, so I want you to think about that in this short little clip. Let's erase our bottom of the box here so you can really enjoy this next 6 seconds. Okay, all right, let's watch.
Hey everyone, my name is Olaf and today I'm going to show you how to make this exact animation from start to finish in Blender. It's going
Okay, so they're starting to fill up that box, and the volume of that water, that's what we want to find out. Okay, so that's what we're going to focus on today, is how do we find that volume. And as you can see, we need 3 numbers to do that. We need a length, we need the width, and we need the height. Okay, let's continue on now. Now, some of you looking at this, you may recognize this from something we did last year. If you were at Monticello last year, we had created boxes, right? We drew them on this kind of angled pegboard. We did some with elastics, but we learned how to draw I've got a yellow here, that's not going to work, is it? Let's switch my pen color to something more fun. All right, so we learned how to draw boxes. Now doing it on this, that's going to be a trick, right? I've been drawing on this for a while, so I'm going to be not very good. Okay, and each one of these boxes represent 1 unit cubed, right? That's 1 cube. So if I look at this larger cube, I can easily count those, can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the backside 5, There's one hiding there that we can't see. 6, 7, 8. Okay, and if I took this and I wrote the numbers for each of these, 2 lengths, 2 widths, and 2 height, right? That's 2 cubed. 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which is 8. And as you remember, I counted and there was 8 boxes. Okay, so I could do the same thing right here, counting the boxes. So I have 2 rows here. In the front, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, if I have 6 in the front one, then I definitely have 6 back here. So 6 plus 6, that would give me 12 if I'm just counting. So now let's do the same thing, but let's use the numbers. So here we can count 1, 2, 3. So that means I'd have 3 here on my length. 1, 2, 2 for my width, and 1, 2 for my height. So length multiplied by width multiplied by height. Well, 3 times 2, that is 6, times 2, that is 12. And that's what I got when I counted it, correct? So I could do the same thing for all of these. But when I start to get bigger cubes or rectangular prisms or even triangular prisms or, you know, pyramids, whatever, it starts to get inconvenient to count. That's just too many boxes, too many layers, you know, and too many imagined boxes, like how many are back there. So those are all the things that I'd have to remember if I was going to just count boxes. So that could get rather inconvenient, right? So there's got to be an easier way, and that easier way is just multiplying those numbers, the length, the width, and the height. So let's look at another worksheet here. I'm going to erase this. Okay, and we'll go to this other one. So here on here they have also counting of the cubes, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I can see I have a second row back here, so that means I'd have another 9. So that means that my volume for this one, if I'm going to count cubes, would be 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 on one doesn't mean there's 12 over here. So that means I would have 24. Okay, so I could continue to do that. And that's perfectly fine, but you don't always have a grid, do you? It's not always set up that way for you. Sometimes you have to just use the numbers, because here they've given us our length, our width, and our height. So we just need to multiply my length is 9, my width is 6, and my height is 4. Okay, so then I'm just 9 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 4. Okay, so 9 times 6, that is always the one that I struggle with, is 54. I don't know why. I watched a thing today and a bunch of teachers were all saying that there are certain facts that no matter how good they are with other ones, they just can't get that one. So we've got, you know, certain ones just don't stick in your head, and that's okay. So this one is 54. And then if I multiply that by 4, I come up with 216 centimeters cubed. Oh, cubed. I forgot to do that up here. Should have been doing that too. Forgive me. Okay, so this one here, my length is going to be 6. My width is going to be 5. And my height is going to be 5. So I have 6, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 5. 6 and 5 is 30. And 30 multiplied by 5 gives me 150. So my answer would be 150 inches cubed. Okay? If we're putting that in our thing, we could put it in like this, just like we were doing with the other, okay? So that's it, right? There may come a time where you are given the base area. The base area would be these two. Okay, so let's try that on this one. So my base area on here, I have a length of 7 and a width of 2, right? That would cover this base. Oh, that's wrong. This box coloring is not the business. I apologize. Let's rewind that. Okay. So imagine if I had some fairly decent drawing skills right there. Okay. And we've got this that comes down. So here's our base on the bottom. This, my base area, and you will sometimes see it written as base area is 7 multiplied by 2, which is 14. So then you take the base area and multiply it by the height. Okay? And that would be 14 times our height here was 6. So we would just then multiply those two, and we come up with an area of 84. And it's feet cubed. Okay? So sometimes you'll see it referred to like this. Down here, they don't even give us a visual. They just give us the measurements. That's okay. We know what to do. Multiply length and width. There's my base area, right? That's the bottom of my box. And then my height. This is me filling up my box, right? That's the volume that goes from the base, bottom of the box, up. Or bottom of the bucket, up, as you find volume for cylinders later on. Okay? I hope this video was helpful as you go through your thing today. Let me also, in this video, I'm going to include some instruction on how to use the tool that we're going to be using today. I've included a link on GeoGebra. So what you're going to have here in your activity pages in your workbook, it asks you to create certain rectangular prisms. So the directions are on Google Classroom, but I want to just quickly show you. So A is going to be my length. See, I can make it, let's make it 5. My length is 5. B is my width, okay, on this. So it's going to put a whole nother row there, another row of 5, right? So now my base area is 5 multiplied by 2, which is 10. But, you know, I think I'm going to have my base area be 15. So I take the width to 3. And I think, you know, I want kind of a tall box here. So if I multiply it by 2, that's 15. 2 rows of 15, so that's 30 blocks. Another row of 15, right? That would be 45 blocks. Another row of 15 would get me to 60 blocks. Okay, another row of 15 would give me to 75. And I could just go on and on with that, right? But this is kind of a nice little thing here. So just follow the directions. This is where you make your adjustments. There is another level to it. Ooh, at 12, it's like a building. Okay, let's reset this. There's also one that you can do, and it will, here's your first row. Okay, so if we go back to 5, this creates, see, this you can lengthen it out. So if you want to do groups of 5 for your length, so say I want my 5, this to be 15. So that's essentially 15, right? 3 groups of this 5. And same thing, if I want my width to be 2, it'll increase that as well, right? So we're just making, and then if I want my height, so I just created 3 times as large volume as what I had originally created here when I showed you. So this one's not really necessary for your activity today. You're really just going to be using this. Okay? So I wanted to show you that so you had an idea of kind of how that worked. All right. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm begging you. I so want to help you. All right. Good luck. Bye.